If you want to save big on pet accessories, you gotta go to Ross.
Win a meet and greet with Luke Bryan tomorrow on Good Morning Washington.
Welcome to World News Tonight. The breaking headline about the Santa Fe school shooter. Sources telling ABC News the gunman studied previous mass shootings. The trench coat he wore, the alleged homemade bombs he had, clues he may have been inspired by Columbine, as a service is held for the first of 10 victims. Also breaking tonight, President Trump now demanding the Justice Department investigate whether the Trump campaign was infiltrated for political purposes. Also, is a major part of the Mueller investigation involving President Trump about to end? The new toxic threat tonight in Hawaii as Kilauea's lava flow collides with the waters of the Pacific. And the first injury is reported, a homeowner struck by molten rock. The deadly cougar attack, one mountain biker mauled, the wildcat then turning on a second victim who did not survive. The race to find and stop that dangerous animal. Path of destruction, heavy rain triggering a fatal mudslide, a passenger plane skidding off a runway in slick conditions. Tonight, the severe weather now on the move.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on a busy Sunday night. I'm Tom Yamas. We begin with new details about the gunman in the Santa Fe school shooting. Sources telling ABC News 17-year-old Dimitrios Pagorchis studied other school massacres before his attack. Investigators also keying in on a trench coat worn during the massacre and evidence of explosives, both hallmarks of the Columbine killers. The community in a state of shock and grief, services beginning for some of the victims, the governor ordering a statewide moment of silence this morning. And again, lawmakers being pressed about what, if anything, will be done to stop this from happening again. ABC's Marcus Moore leads us off from Santa Fe.
This new video obtained by TMZ shows Dimitrios Pagorchis dancing during a Greek festival the weekend before he allegedly walked into the Santa Fe High School with a pistol, a shotgun, and improvised explosives, authorities say. ABC News is also learning that investigators are pouring through his journal. They believe he carefully studied previous mass shootings, allegedly incorporating aspects of those massacres into his own attack. Authorities say he wore a trench coat in the Santa Fe shooting, which was also a hallmark of the gunman in the Columbine massacre. Tonight, unimaginable grief as Santa Fe begins honoring the 10 lives cut short. Sabika Sheikh, a foreign exchange student just days away from returning home to Pakistan, today remembered in Texas. Elsewhere, vigils to honor the victims and their families and support the wounded as we learn new details about the days leading up to that horrific shooting. So many lives lost. Glenda Perkins and Cynthia Tisdale, 2 teachers killed at Santa Fe High School. Chris Stone, Aaron McLeod, Kimberly Vaughn, Angelique Ramirez, and Shayna Fisher, some of the 8 students killed in that tragedy. And tonight, Shayna Fisher's mother claiming that Pagorchis made unwanted advances on her daughter and that she was a target.
And not even a week later, he just shoots everyone, and shoots, and she was the first one.
The suspect's attorney says any talk about what led to the shooting is pure speculation. And while investigators try to figure out a motive, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick reigniting the debate over gun violence, saying that guns are not the problem.
We have devalued life, whether it's through abortion, whether it's the breakup of families, through violent movies, and particularly violent video games.
What is clear tonight is this community continues to rally. John Barnes, the school police officer critically wounded but called a hero for bravery, recovering tonight. And Rome Schubert, shot in the head, returning to the baseball field this weekend.
Marcus Moore joins us live now from Santa Fe High School. We know that school will be closed tomorrow. You mentioned the possible copycat nature with the Columbine attack, and besides the black trench coat, there is another chilling connection?
That's right, Tom. Investigators have said that the gunman in this case used various homemade explosives, and that includes CO2 cartridges. That's significant because that type of explosive has not been used in a school shooting here since the Columbine massacre, and certainly adds to the many questions investigators have about how this attack was carried out. Tom.
Marcus Moore reporting live for us tonight. Marcus, thank you. We do turn now to the breaking news from the White House, where President Trump made a stunning demand today on Twitter. The president saying he will officially order the Justice Department to investigate whether an informant working for the FBI or DOJ infiltrated his campaign, suggesting the Obama administration's involvement. At the same time, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, revealing a possible end date for an aspect of the Russia investigation. ABC's David Wright is at the White House tonight.
Tonight, President Trump on the warpath, demanding answers about reports that the FBI had an informant approach the Trump campaign. Quote, I hereby demand, and will do so officially tomorrow, that the Department of Justice look into whether or not the FBI DOJ infiltrated or surveilled the Trump campaign for political purposes. President Trump has long insisted he has the right to intervene.
You look at the corruption at the top of the FBI, it's a disgrace. And our Justice Department, which I try and stay away from, but at some point I won't.
At issue now, published reports that during the 2016 campaign, the FBI sent a retired American professor to talk with several key Trump advisors after those advisors had been flagged for suspicious contact with Russians. Trump's FBI director, citing national security, has declined to reveal any details.
The day that we can't protect human sources is the day the American people start becoming less safe.
Tonight, the Justice Department says it will investigate. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein vows to take appropriate action if anyone did infiltrate or surveil a presidential campaign for inappropriate purposes.
I've always said there was no collusion, but I've also said there has been nobody tougher on Russia than me.
Russians may not be the only foreign interest trying to meddle. There are also published reports of another suspicious meeting at Trump Tower. An Israeli social media entrepreneur, a representative of two wealthy Arab princes, and the founder of the massive private security firm Blackwater, reportedly met with Don Jr. 3 months before the election to discuss mounting a social media campaign to help elect Donald Trump. Don Trump Jr.'s lawyer tells ABC News he was not interested, and that was the end of it. Today, the president tweeted, the witch hunt has given up on Russia and is looking at the rest of the world.
All right, David Wright is at the White House tonight for us. And David, late word from the president's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, telling ABC News that the Russia investigation relating to President Trump will be done by September 1st.
That's right, Tom, and an important distinction there. We're talking about the part that relates to Trump, not necessarily the whole investigation. Rudolph Giuliani says Mueller told him that personally about a month ago. Mueller has not independently confirmed that, however. The president's team is clearly pressuring him to wrap it up, Tom.
David Wright with that new reporting from the White House tonight. David, thank you. Next, we turn to a major development in the Hawaii eruptions. The first lava flow now reaching the Pacific, throwing a toxic blend of lava haze into the sky. Officials also confirming the first injury, a homeowner standing on his balcony struck by flying molten rock. It's a dangerous new chapter in Hawaii, and ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is there.
Tonight, that raging molten river now flowing into the ocean, creating a new danger. The lava combining with salt water, creating plumes of what's called laze, a hazy, potentially deadly mix of hydrochloric acid and small particles of glass.
It can eat a hole in a cotton t-shirt in a matter of a couple of hours. It's really caustic. And of course, you don't want to be breathing this either. It can cause a respiratory seizure.
The red-hot torrent now flowing across a highway, forcing new evacuations after destroying 4 more homes this weekend. That lava flow cutting a path through neighborhoods and fields, bubbling from fissures like this one, fountaining more than 100 feet in the air. And this explosive fissure blamed for the first serious injury since this volcanic emergency began on Hawaii's Big Island more than 2 weeks ago, blasting a chunk of molten rock towards a house, shattering the homeowner's leg as he sat on his balcony. And he's now recovering in a hospital, and tonight geologists say they still expect more fissures to open, the flow of lava into the ocean to expand, and possibly more eruptions from the summit of Kilauea. Tom?
And we see some of that haze there just behind you. All right, Marcy, thank you. Next tonight, the severe weather threat. A woman was killed during a mudslide in North Carolina, one of several parts of the country swamped by a slow-moving storm system as the new work week begins. Here's ABC's meteorologist, Rob Marciano.
Tonight, funnel clouds spinning above central Texas, with 3 tornadoes reported north of Austin.
That's going to touch the ground in a minute.
And off the coast of Alabama, a waterspout churning near Dauphin Island. And severe storms tearing across Oklahoma, littering this neighborhood in Fairfax with debris.
I heard it a big boom, and that that thing was against my car.
Floodwater for as far as the eye can see in Farmville, Virginia. The wet weather causing this plane to skid off the runway at Bluegrass Airport in Kentucky.
You hear the sirens and you see everything going, and it was pretty scary.
Torrential rain flooding entire neighborhoods in Maryland. Dive teams brought in to pump this road in Washington County. And heavy rain flooding the streets in Boulder, Colorado, and turning roadways in South Florida into rivers. The spring storms turning deadly in North Carolina. A Polk County woman killed when her home was crushed by a mudslide.
You see that home absolutely destroyed. Rob joins us now live in studio. Rob, we take a look at the map, and there's a lot going on tonight.
Again, and so much of this soil, Tom, is saturated, so flooding is going to be an issue again. We have those storms across parts of Texas, just north of Santa Fe and Houston. They continue to rumble. Some severe weather watches out for southwest of Missouri and through parts of Memphis, Tennessee, and the rains continue in Florida. A little wave along this front will bring some showers and storms to Chicago in the morning, then rolling along through St. Louis and Lexington. And across the southeast, more in the way of heavy thunderstorms at times, and there'll be some spotty flooding. But the action tomorrow as far as severe weather will be Indianapolis to Dayton to Cincinnati, Ohio. And again, a fair amount of rain fall over the next 48 hours as far north as Ohio and as far south as Miami, Tom.
All right, Rob, thanks. We do turn now to a developing story we're following tonight, a Saturday night jailbreak in South Carolina. 3 men on the run tonight, 2 of the men accused murderers. And now police now say they assaulted a guard as well. ABC's Zachary Quiche with the manhunt.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt. Police in South Carolina frantically trying to track down 3 fugitives.
We know that these individuals are dangerous.
Authorities say someone attacked a guard, and then the prisoners, all charged with violent crimes, broke out of this detention center southeast of Charleston late Saturday night.
Our officer was assaulted at the jail. I think during that assault, they had already apparently had this plan.
Overnight, law enforcement suiting up and scouring the area. Helicopters searching from high above. Christopher Bolton accused of carjacking. Curtis Green and Tyshawn Johnson wanted for murder. All 3 were in lockup and waiting to go to trial. Police now saying the manhunt extends beyond South Carolina.
We just advise people to be vigilant and to make phone calls, call us if they see or hear anything.
Tom, an escape from the same jail last June was blamed on a door lock malfunction. In that particular case, 8 hours later, authorities captured the man. Tom?
Zachary Quiche for us. Zachary, thank you. New questions tonight in the wake of that deadly Cuba plane crash. Investigators looking into previous complaints against the Mexican charter company that owns the Boeing 737 in the Cubana Airlines crash, as well as the condition of the 39-year-old plane. A black box has been recovered. 110 people were killed. Several of the victims have not yet been identified. Incredibly, 3 passengers did survive. We do move on now to Washington State, where authorities are investigating a deadly animal encounter. 2 mountain bikers attacked by a cougar. One of them did not survive. Here's ABC's Will Carr.
Tonight, 1 dead, another lucky to be alive after authorities believe this mountain lion viciously attacked both.
Sounds like the gentleman was attacked by the mountain lion.
The 2 mountain biking on a remote trail outside of Seattle when the mountain lion pounced.
One of the victims hears a scream from the partner. He looks back and sees that they're being chased by a cougar down the trail.
The survivor, Isaac Cedarbaum, offering a terrifying account of the attack.
He said he had his whole entire head in the jaws of this animal and was being shaken around very, very horribly.
The Panther let go, sparing Cedarbaum's life, but taking aim at the other biker who ran into the woods.
We have a second patient, probably another 5 miles up North Fork Road, was being attacked at the time that our patient got away.
A medical helicopter raced Cedarbaum to the hospital. Authorities later found his riding partner dead. This mountain lion standing over the biker's body. They quickly shot and killed the animal close to where Steve Mickle captured footage of a mountain lion several weeks ago.
It was kind of scary. I realized that, wow, there's things out here that are very powerful, and this is their space. And you just have to respect that.
Tonight, Tom, we've learned that the survivor is expected to recover. It comes as authorities are emphasizing that attacks by cougars like this are extremely rare. They say if you do come across a cougar, the best thing you can do is stand your ground, scream, fight if you have to. The one thing you don't want to do is run. Tom.
Will Carr for us. Will, thank you. And there is much more still ahead here on World News Tonight this Sunday. Things get physical during a showdown on a packed flight. Did a service animal set off this passenger brawl caught on camera? Plus, the